Most entrepreneurs and leaders think that the secret to growth is strategy. Maybe a better website, better funnels, more marketing, or the next big productivity hack. But the truth is, you don't scale a business through tactics alone. Businesses grow when the people grow from the inside out. Hi, my name is Patricia Stepler, and I'm the founder of Creating Top Producers. Over the years, I've helped entrepreneurs, CEOs, and leadership teams transform not just how they work, but how they think. And what I've seen time and time again is this. Whether you're running a small business with 5 or less employees or leading an organization with 100 or 200, the same principles create high-performing teams. And today, I want to share with you what those principles are, how to apply them, and the exact shifts you can make to build trust, resolve conflict, and achieve extraordinary results. First thing I want to look at is mindset, and why mindset in a leadership atmosphere really matters. Think about this for a moment. How much time and energy do you spend putting out fires in your business or on your teams? And how much effort goes into repeating instructions, chasing down accountability, or cleaning up misunderstandings? And that could be with your team members or with clients. Most of the time, it isn't because people don't know what to do. It's because of how they're thinking and how they're working together. For entrepreneurs, this challenge is often being stuck in the business, doing everything yourself instead of stepping into the role of a true leader. For large organizations, the problem is usually misalignment between leaders and teams. Everyone's busy, we're all doing many things, but not everyone is rowing in the same direction. That's why leadership isn't about titles or tasks. It's about influence, clarity, and vision. And when leaders make that kind of shift, the entire team follows. And that's what leadership really is, getting people to follow you. The next thing I'm going to look at is the 5 behaviors that we know of that build high-performing teams. Now let's talk about what makes a high-performing team. Research shows, and I've seen firsthand, that there are 5 critical behaviors every strong team must master. Miss even one, and results start to unravel. Trust. Trust is so foundational. Without it, people hide mistakes. They avoid asking for help because they don't want to seem like they don't know, and they play small. With trust, team members feel safe to bring new ideas forward, admit when they're stuck, and grow faster. I often ask leaders, do your people feel safe to fail forward? Or do they hold back out of fear? Next step is conflict. We usually think of conflict as a negative thing, but not all conflict is bad. Healthy conflict, the kind where ideas are debated, not people, drives innovation. I train leaders and teams to shift from avoiding conflict to embracing it because silence kills more businesses than arguments ever will. Next step is commitment. A lack of commitment is really a lack of clarity. If your team isn't fully bought into the decisions that are being made, you'll see hesitation, second guessing, and slow execution, as well as people trying to undermine the decisions made. I help teams create clarity so every decision is understood, agreed upon, and carried out with confidence. Our next step is accountability. Most people dread being held accountable because they see it as confrontational. But true accountability is about ownership and support. You see, high-performing teams hold each other accountable and responsible, not just the boss holding the team responsible, but peers calling out each other. And that's when performance accelerates. And finally, we need to get to the results. And of course, that is the outcome every business is looking for, results. But not just financial results, although businesses do need those, but it's also cultural results. You know, it can lower your turnover, it can build stronger engagement and more collaboration, and teams will actually be excited to come to work every day. With all 5 of these foundational building blocks in place, when you have trust, conflict, commitment, accountability, and results, you don't just have a functioning team. You have a team that performs, innovates, and grows together. So, what does this look like in action? Well, let me give you a couple of examples from people that I've worked with and businesses that I've seen. You know, I've worked with a small business owner who was constantly frustrated. He was doing everything himself, and even some of his employees who weren't doing the work that they were supposed to, he didn't hold them accountable. He also didn't always trust his team to follow through, so he tended to micromanage. And that, of course, led to resentment, low morale, missed opportunities. Within 6 months of applying these 5 behaviors, his team stepped up, trust was rebuilt, and he was able to finally focus on scaling his business instead of just surviving and do as they had done for the previous year. In larger organizations, one leadership team I worked with was completely fractured. They avoided the hard conversations which led to hidden conflicts and unspoken tension. And this resentment, again, started to undermine what they were doing. Once we created a safe space for healthy conflict and clear commitments, productivity skyrocketed and results zoomed. Within the year, turnover dropped by 30% and the results exceeded the expectation. The truth is, it doesn't matter how big or small business is, how young or old the people working there are, the same human dynamics apply for everyone. And this is something I have seen all through the different aspects of my careers. Now let's look for the transformation that you can expect. When leaders shift how they think and teams shift how they think and how they work together, you close the knowing and doing gap. The more you move from this chaos to clarity, you move from mistrust to collaboration, and from potential to real results performance. So let me ask you, what would it mean if you could fully trust your team, or if your clients fully trusted you? What if accountability wasn't avoided, but it was embraced by you and your team? And how much faster could your business grow if everyone was pulling in the same direction? These are the shifts that I help entrepreneurs and leadership teams make. And when you make them, you don't just get better results. You build a culture where people absolutely thrive and results go through the roof. So if you're ready to experience that kind of shift for yourself, for your team, for your business, I invite you to book a strategy session with me. And we'll take a deep look at where you are, what's holding your team back, and the simple steps you can take to move into alignment, trust, and growth. Because your business can only grow as fast as you and your team grow. And you do have to start to grow from the inside out to get those results, which is why mindset is also key. And when you get this right, the results begin to speak for themselves. To lead at a higher level, or a CEO who needs a stronger team, I can help you. Let's talk about where you are, where you want to go, and bridge that gap so that you are getting the results that you really want to get. So click the link below, book that strategy session with me, and together we'll uncover the leadership or team shifts that will unlock your next level of growth. Because the truth is, your business can only grow as fast as you do.